はい、じゃあバトルフィールドロボットですね、ミリタリーロボットですね。で、maybe some of you remember that Boston Marathon bombing trouble. It has happened about 2 years ago. You know the Boston Marathon race? Boston is the United States, Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts, yes. And the bombing is there, and 2 pressure cooker bombs exploded during the Boston Marathon, and someone is two brothers is do that work, that trouble. So and they are hiding somewhere. So here is a packbot is exploring the car, and also the helicopter is used to search the person hidden in the boat. So this kind of robot is used to inspect and inspect the target person to find where he is, and he has some bombs or not. It was used. Okay. And military robot. Military robot is also said as a combat robot, armored combat. Yes, here, and armored combat air vehicle (UCAV), armored ground vehicle (UGV) is presently used. For example, the MQ-9 rover or some the tank robot is developed. This is also some of the mainly this is American's robot, American's military robot, but also the France or England also developing this kind of tank robot also. But maybe the most famous robot is this iRobot, the packbot. Yes, this is a crawler and 2 flaps, and the manipulator is here, and the camera and hands are equipped on here. So I will show the video. Yes, here. これいいか。ちょっと待ってくださいね。ちょっとこの最初一番。Yes, latest one is I will show this.
And 2 other roboticists from MIT's Artificial Intelligence Lab had a realization. In order for robots to have a real-life, everyday impact on regular people, they needed to be mobile. And so, iRobot was born. The Boston Robotics company was made famous by their Roomba vacuum, but Griner and the rest of the team went on to save lives with their series of PackBots. The PackBot is a compact, track-driven device that is used by the U.S. military to find and detonate IEDs. Search and rescue teams deploy the PackBot to locate missing individuals after natural disasters. And security teams have used it to inspect vehicles at large public events. Users control the PackBot using a video game-style controller on a remote laptop, where the bot's activities are shown in 3D. The current model of the PackBot 510, carries LED lights, 4 cameras capable of HD photography at 312 times zoom, and thermal photography. The PackBot's manipulator arm can reach around corners and can raise up to 80 inches, and its grabber can hold up to 30 pounds. Dual rotating flippers that can turn 360 degrees give the PackBot the ability to navigate over obstacles or reorient itself if it lands face down. Several other robotic devices have been designed to aid in military endeavors, including the Talon, the Recon Scout, which has been employed by the U.S. Army, and the Teodor, which has been used by the Spanish Armed Forces. These robots look like something out of science fiction, but they're real, and they're saving lives
this robot is also said saving lives every day, she said. And also this PackBot is used to inspect the Fukushima's reactor's plant building for the first time.
Tokyo Electric Power has supplied the first look inside two of the reactor buildings at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The video was shot on Sunday and Monday and shows the insides of units 2 and 3. The primary video came from a pair of robots sent inside, and the video supplied to the media comes from a camera trained at a couple of laptops being used to control the robots. Unit 3 experienced a hydrogen explosion on March 14th, and the video shows debris strewn around the inside of the first floor. In this shot, what appears to be a ladder is mangled against electrical equipment.
This video, and the PackBot is used for the first time. Its mobility is not enough for the look around all of the inside of the reactor building. So therefore, it cannot work only the limited area. So therefore, some new robot, mobile robot, has been developing now in Japan. But it's not so successful up to the present. So the more investigation and more research work is necessary to accomplish this kind of task. Yes, this PackBot is also radioactive resistance because it also estimated to be used in that kind of radiation area. Because the United States government is also prepared for that kind of power plant accident. So this kind of robot is necessary, they think. So the radiation resistance is also attached on the radiation resistance ability is also included in this robot. But the radiation area is very, very dangerous for this kind of robot. Yes, next is a more smaller size robot. It was developed several years ago. Yes, so for this. Yes.
Get immediate situational awareness with the iRobot 110 First Look. A small, light, throwable robot. Weighing about 5 pounds, First Look is ideal for building clearing, raids, and other close-in scenarios, or to remotely assess industrial environments. First Look allows operations where other robots can't fit or maneuver. When communication is spotty, we establish it quickly using First Look's mesh radio capabilities. Multiple First Look robots can be set up to relay reliable communications and increase your operational range in challenging environments. First Look gives you eyes and ears with its 4 built-in cameras and its 2-way audio communication. Female subject, gun in her right hand. Put the gun down, put the gun down.
What do you want?
First Look has a range of available accessories. Use First Look's optional integrated deployment and accessory camera to expand your visibility. Mounted on a flexible mast, the camera provides an adjustable 270-degree view with visible light illumination. Motorized retention pins make it fast to deliver a variety of small objects. To safely increase your situational awareness, use one of First Look's accessories in low-light situations, equipped with a thermal camera. Add the manipulator arm to lift objects remotely, or use the hazmat sensors to remotely investigate an unknown situation. First Look to identify threats or get help with maritime interdiction at a safer standoff distance. First Look is lightweight, waterproof, and rugged. Use it in all weather conditions. It's maneuverable so you can use it to climb steps, roll over obstacles, or turn in place to overcome challenging conditions. Using First Look's rugged operator control unit is easy. Powered by iRobot Aware 2 robot intelligence software, the OCU includes an integrated radio, battery, and joystick. Get immediate situational awareness with First Look, the small, light, throwable robot.
called lightweight slow wobble robot. Is yes, it's the typical feature of this robot. Okay. And mobility is yes, this kind of robot is using the crawler, caterpillar, like this. But other way, it's also not only the uneven ground, but also this wall climbing robot is also developed by iRobot, wall climbing robot. Yes, here it is. This is almost 10 years ago. It is climbing on this wall without tether, the rope to escape. Yes, not only climbing on the straight surface, but also this has a joint. So therefore, and using this tail, so not only straight climbing, but also it can also climb on the top of the roof. Speed. Yes, look at this. Okay. And also next is これか。レボラフテリエンレフェックスというロボットですけど、これちょっと見ますか。Yes. Spring-like legs as a special feature of this robot. To be able to go anywhere. ステートじゃなくて、ユニバーシティオブペンシルベニアですね。はい。ですの、it's not so also heavy and it works more than 1 meter per second and yes, the very rough terrain it can go. So also this former video you can find various kind of places it can move. Yes, this kind of leg, some special spring leg robot, but also the leg robot is useful for the rough, uneven ground. So therefore, the Boston Dynamics is searched on how to deal with by using the four legs to walk through this kind of uneven level ground. So this is it is called little dog. So this video, yes.
This video is a short overview of the quadruped locomotion control framework developed at USC as part of the DARPA Learning Locomotion project. This project aims to push the performance of robotic-legged locomotion to a new level. The locomotion controller, developed at the Computational Learning and Motor Control Lab at USC, is able to autonomously navigate and cross very challenging terrain, including obstacles and gaps as large as the full leg length of the robot. Special attention has been given to stability, smoothness, and movement speed, body movements that have been optimized for stable and dynamic movements even in highly challenging terrain, combined with leg movements that avoid the terrain in an optimal fashion. This gives unprecedented movement speed over very difficult terrain without sacrificing stability. In order for the robot to be able to choose good footholds in rocky terrain, we developed a novel template-based foothold scoring system. Here, the robot learns optimal foothold choices from expert demonstration in a way that generalizes to previously unseen terrain.
Good place.
The controller is able to employ special moves for terrain that approaches the limits of kinematic feasibility of the robot. In case of slippage or other failures, special recovery behaviors are executed which save the robot and allow successful completion of the mission. Furthermore, we developed and implemented a novel floating-based inverse dynamics controller, which allows compliant locomotion over partially unknown terrain. Such performance is impossible with traditional high-gain position controllers that assume near-perfect terrain knowledge.
Only high gain, but it can.
An additional benefit of such a controller is that it allows for safe human interaction with possibly dangerous robots. By combining these approaches, our controller sets a new standard for safe, fast, and robust autonomous locomotion over very rough terrain.
Very rough terrain って言ってましたね。So by using this little dog, this big dog is also this is you can see this configuration and this configuration is the same. Four legs configuration is the same, and the control scheme is examined deeply by using this small robot, and then that is transferred into this big size robot. Okay. So therefore, じゃあちょっとどれがいいですかね。これかな。フォローがリーダーはここら辺にいます。フォローがリーダー、フォロー。 laser finder is here. So yeah, I say laser finder. And also many other, also there are many videos here, so you can find. これが LS3 です。これですね。The Left Square Support System で、it is now used in the field test. US Marine field test is also have been done. So this Alpha Doc project is there in here. And also not only this static movement, but also more faster movement is designed by using this cheetah robot. Yes, I will show the. これ、ですか？はい。これ、バウンシングですね。About 30 per hour it can walk, it can run ですね。Not walk. Yes, cheetah robot is developed and this wild cat ちょっと見ますか？ Wild cat developed. Gallow. Bounding a two leg, the same movement ですね。palm. Right, こんな感じですね。これがワイルドキャットで2 years ago で、今はスポット is announced 2 months ago. ちょっとショートビデオ、NBC ニュースのショートビデオ入るでしょ。とかいうやつが Yes, it is also announced 2 months ago, about 2 months ago. Not only this 4-leg robot, but also the Boston Dynamics is developing the 2-leg robot, humanoid robot. Firstly, only 2 legs. It is shown here, and the 2 legs and with upper body. So the dynamic movement for dynamical walking, the upper body is also very useful to make the stability control. And also two arms is also important to make some stability. Okay, so this kind of working control methodology is researched on by using this robot. Yes. これはなんかオブスタクルアボイダンスで getting on here using the 2 arms. Petman というのは about 5 years ago this project has started, and then today it was called Atlas, the full body robot, the ungraded Atlas still no disaster Superman というこれちょっとこのビデオ見ますか Yes.
DARPA updated its humanoid rescue robot Atlas, but the changes show how far the machine still has to go to be useful in disaster zones. Atlas will be used by up to 7 teams in the DARPA Robotics Challenge later this year. The competition is aimed at developing robots that can help humans respond to natural and man-made disasters. Among the upgrades is a variable pressure pump that will help the robot conserve energy and also make it a lot quieter. Unlike previous versions, this robot is one that can run completely on batteries, albeit not for very long. Its 3.7 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery will give it about 1 hour of mixed mission operation. The new bot has 3 computers for processing sensor input for task planning as well as wireless communication abilities. During the challenge, it will face communication blackouts of up to 1 minute, and it will need to operate autonomously. $3.5 million will be awarded to the top 3 finishers in the challenge. In Boston, Nick Barber, IEG News Service.
Yes, Robotics Challenge will be held this year, later this year, and this Atlas new version is developed to test it as that challenge competition. Okay, and also you can find many various kind of killer robots present technologies videos like yes, I will introduce. So briefly on this どうしようかなfor example ちょっと Rise of Machine かペンタゴンイシューにこれは例えば Samsung's Korean's military robot looks like this. Autonomous gun shooting robot.
Samsung's intelligent surveillance and security system with the capability of detecting and tracking as well as suppression is designed to replace human-oriented guards, overcoming their limitations. The state-of-the-art surveillance system provides high-end security through a combination of vigilance technologies.
これわかります？これボーダーですね。ナショナルボーダーで someone is here, this, yeah, these days, human army is here and guarding this border, but replace this human soldier, this robot is replaced, okay, will be replaced.
System can be installed not only on national borders, but also in critical locations, such as airports, power plants, oil storage bases, and military bases. With superior performance over traditional systems, the innovative technology guarantees protection from any invasion and makes its mission more affordable than ever.
Now find the invader and shooting by using this gun とか言ってるわけですね。It is autonomously とか言ってるんですけど、here. And also, まあ、イスラエルスキラーロボットはミリタリーロボット。ちょっとこれだけ見ますか。
Robots become a key tool for U.S. troops abroad. While combat troops have left Iraq and the conflict in Afghanistan is winding down, the Pentagon says the technology will continue to play an important role, and the military is using more robots than ever before.
Smaller robot.
From just 162 in 2004, the Army has since purchased an additional 7,000, of which 4,000 remain active. They include such models as the Dragon Runner, which can be used to find roadside bombs, search buildings, or monitor checkpoints. iRobot also manufactures a number of portable robots, such as the First Look, that can be carried in a soldier's rucksack and be used to look around a corner. And the Recon Scout XT, which is just 8 inches long and weighs just 1.2 pounds, can be thrown in a window to scout a room. Once largely employed by specialized bomb disposal units, these robots have become a must-have for regular military units. According to the Army, a third of its robots now go to regular units that don't specialize in bomb clearance. And last year, military robots were sent to explore a damaged nuclear reactor in Japan. And despite the pressures of looming budget cuts, the U.S. military has singled out robotics as one promising area for future technology investment. For the Wall Street Journal, this is Nathan Hodge in Washington.
とかいうリポートがありますね。まあ、various report you can find on the net. Yes, okay. And against these conditions, some campaign to stop this kind of killer robot is there. So it is started 2 years ago. The ARMS new campaign to stop killer robots. Swift action needed to prevent fully autonomous weapons. Some civil society will lead the way to persuade governments to ban the fully autonomous weapon. The Human Rights Watch is a NGO said today as the launch of the global campaign to stop killer robots started, and these potential future weapons, sometimes called the killer robot, would be able to select and attack to target without any human invention. But the urgent, dangerous point is it cannot select, it cannot find this guy is a soldier or civil citizen or not. It cannot distinguish completely. So therefore, this campaign has been started. UN urged to ban killer robots before they can be developed. Also, the United Nations will be agree with this. This stop the killer robot will be there maybe. Yes. The campaign's video I will show here.
Robots have been a staple of science fiction stories for decades. They allow us to imagine what the future might be like, explore ethical issues, and create fantastic stories. However, most people would agree that robots lack something that is at the very core of humanity, a moral compass. Humans are held responsible for their choices because of their ability to make informed decisions based on their rationality and experience. Robots, however, do what their programs command them to do, no questions asked. This is an important part of the reason why we should be very worried about new technology fire on their targets without any human intervention. Popular science fiction has once again predicted an ethical dilemma that we must now face. It should be noted that these killer robots are distinct from drones. While drones are an issue in their own right, they are different in that they require a human pilot to remotely control the machine. Killer robots take the human element entirely out of the equation. Imagine the problems that would arise from the use of these killer robots in war. For example, who would be blamed when one fails to distinguish between a soldier and a civilian? Would it be the programmer, or the manufacturer, or someone else? We must do our best to ensure accountability as possible for deeds done in battle, when lives are on the line. It seems obvious what we must do. We need to stop killer robots before it's too late.
っていうそういったりですね。OK? ちょっと another video I will show next here. We are going to use this for robots. They say they are not anti-robots. Al-Qaeda targeted. Fully autonomous weapon なんて anti-pilot. Killer Robot Stop キャンペーンですけど、なんか見たいのありますか？もう時間ないのか？もうあんまりないですね。また BBC ニュース見ますか？ BBC ニュース見ましょうか。はい。
Drones have already raised questions about 21st century warfare, but while they have no pilots, they are controlled by humans on the ground. A human finger is on the trigger. Not so with lethal autonomous robots. They are programmed in advance. On the battlefield, they, not people, will decide what to destroy or who to kill. A prospect that worries human rights experts.
Is it acceptable from the perspective of protecting life and human dignity that any kind of weapon that is used to kill humans, whether in peace or in war, will be controlled by autonomous robots?
The technology is racing ahead of the moral questions. Can a robot distinguish between military targets and civilians, between soldiers who are still fighting and those who want to surrender? And who is accountable if something goes wrong? Because robots can't be prosecuted for war crimes. The UN wants answers before robots get any closer to the battlefield.
War without reflection is mechanical slaughter. It is my considered opinion that in the same way that the taking of any human life deserves as a minimum some deliberation, the decision to allow machines to be employed to kill human beings worldwide, whatever weapons they use, serves a collective pause. In other words, a moratorium.
The United States, Britain and Israel are all believed to be developing autonomous robots. Their response to the call for a moratorium was non-committal. Meanwhile, human rights groups would like to go further. As in the case of blinding lasers, they would like lethal robots banned worldwide before they ever get to the battlefield. Imogen Folks, BBC News, Geneva.
Geneva. This meeting has been held and this statement is presented. Yes, so therefore, this leaflet, you can get this leaflet from this site. the mind gap, lack of the accountability for killer robots. So this is released several days ago, and this report shows something handles to assigning personal accountability for the action of fully autonomous weapon. Yes, okay. If you are interested in, you should access and read it through. Okay. And today I have kept some practice, and yes, the one opinion from DARPA's the project director says looks like this. I will show this interview videos like this.
I made a little list here of some of the projects that DARPA has played a key role in over the last few decades. You've got the internet, GPS starting in 1959, virtual reality, satellites, stealth aircraft, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, night vision, precision guidance, smartphones, even Siri. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It's a tremendous heritage. And of course, the challenge for those of us who have the privilege of serving at DARPA today, our job is to make the investments now in 2014 that become those kinds of transformations for the next generation.
Give me an example of a surprise that DARPA created.
Well, one example is stealth aircraft that allowed our warfighters to go into very contested environments and evade radar, which was an amazing new capability when that became possible.
The stealth fighter, the B-2 bomber.
Exactly. And then on the enabling technology side, 45 years ago, DARPA did this sort of crazy experiment, which was to hook a couple of computers together and have them talk to each other. That was the beginning of the ARPANET, which became the internet today.
So Al Gore, eat your heart out, DARPA invented the internet.
Al Gore did a lot to make it the real internet that we've got today, but DARPA planted the very first seeds for that.
Yeah. So can DARPA say we created the internet, or they can say we did something very early that got it going?
We created the ARPANET, which was the predecessor network, and the internet grew out of that. And like so many of our investments, we plant these early seeds that create a technology base, and then after that, vast numbers of other people across the technology community and a huge amount of entrepreneurship and private capital, all of that has to happen to turn those ideas in the technology base into the internet and the smartphone that you have in your pocket and the technologies that have changed how we live and work.
So the smartphone too. DARPA had a role in what we now know as the smartphone.
A lot of the technologies that went into the smartphone. So the chip that's in your phone that talks to the cell tower and sends a radio signal actually shares a common heritage with the really sophisticated radars that are on Navy ships that help us see where the adversary is. They both trace back to core technology investments to make semiconductor components be able to send radio waves.
So when Siri just isn't listening to me, can I say that now, DARPA?
You should try it, see what happens. That would be great.
See if she responds, see if she gets it together.
Yes, as the interview says, the investigation is very, it is affected today's present life. Some internet or some cell phone or some other technologies is used in the daily life today. Okay, and also I will give the next video.
We're always looking to see where the frontiers of science are generating amazing new innovation, because that's where the seeds of technological surprise are going to be. And in biology today, we're getting those signals about what's going to be possible from neuroscience as we develop new ways to understand the brain and to repair damage to the brain, but also in the future enhance what we're able to do with our brains. And amazing things are going to come out of that kind of work.
Yeah. Can you even imagine what could come out?
Well, we're starting to be able to imagine it. One of our programs a few years ago, one of our programs was revolutionizing prosthetics, and it set out to give our wounded warriors who had lost limbs in these terrible violent incidents overseas, we wanted to give them a better option than a simple hook, which had been the standard of practice for decades. So the second part of what he did was start understanding neural signaling from our motor cortex. what are the signals that allow us to control our limbs. That work culminated in human trials in the last few years, and in particular, one of our wonderful volunteers is a woman named Jan. She's a quadriplegic, but she's had these implants now on her motor cortex, 2 tiny little chips that pick up her neural signals, and she uses her thoughts to control this sophisticated mechanical arm. Now, it's so exciting to think about what kind of restoration we can do with that for people who have lost their ability to control a limb or have lost a limb. But of course, it also opens this other door, because now we can go directly from the brain into the mechanical world, and that's, you know, I think it's exciting and terrifying to think about what's on the other side. And we're going to have to we as a society are going to have to think hard about where we want to go.
What is terrifying about it?
Lets us imagine a future, possibly, where there are ways to be able to do that kind of pickup of neural signaling, fine, detailed pickup of neural signaling, without having to use surgical techniques. And if we got to that future, you can imagine a pilot flying a plane, instead of having a neural signal that tells him how to control the controls through his limbs. Imagine if he was able to eliminate that latency and fly the plane directly
From his brain.
Right. That's the part that sounds exciting, but once you can do
But
that,
that also sounds a little scary.
Exactly. And I think that's the nature of these leading edge technologies, is we pursue them because of their promise, but we know that they're going to pose really interesting and important challenges for us as a society.
Yes, the DARPA is now focusing on the brain science field, and also it is also the result will be applied daily life technology maybe, but also it is also this is a bright side maybe, and the dark side or shadow side or something is also this is used for the pilot some sensitivity enhancement or something, to find the target or to control more precisely or something. So the neuroscience technology is also used for some military engineering. Okay, of course. So therefore, the DARPA is doing that work, and also the disaster robot competition DARPA is holding. That Atlas is also will do that, and will do that. And it is also not only for disaster to recover the Fukushima's accident, but also some places working in place of the human soldier is also they are researching and developing. Okay. Yes, that's all for I have prepared. Questions or comments or something? It's okay.